today. You can thank Mr. Thomas Howe for that one of our doctors who decided that he was going to run 50 minutes late on his clinic. So, yeah, cheers, Tom, you knob. Right. So, welcome, and apologies for last week. Again, it's all part of this thing at work. We're having we are having a new computer system starting on Monday. So, the old system goes offline today, and everything had to be finished and outcomed and ready to go by the end of the day. So that's why I had to stick around for Mr. Howe to finish. Hello, Bruce and Dread. Nice to see you again, brother. Let me just log in on the old laptop of Rooney. I can remember what my army number is. There we are. Right, so today it looks like we're cracking on with some more household cavalry. Now, these are the ones that we were working on a couple of weeks ago, the Victrix ones. Now, it looks like, let me have a look. I'm unfortunately not particularly well prepared today due to Mr. Howe's silly shenanigans. So, let me see. Right, okay, I'm missing 2 vital parts. So, I'm going to let you guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I nip and get them from the hobby room. So, bear with me. Right, so I've got hello everyone who arrived while I was away. I've just grabbed the Black Templar, and I thought that was flesh, so I've grabbed the Black Templar anyway. We can crack on with the helmets for that one. So let me get the old screen up. Hello Ben, hello PW, hello Luke. Waiting for the reinforcements. Man sheet underway. I'll email you the tracking number when we finish today. I'll forward that to you. Now then, where are we? I've just received some figures I actually ordered for painted, which is unusual for me. So they've just arrived, which is exciting. I look forward to checking those out later. And this is like my double-headed brush, which is pretty cool. I got this at Adepticon, and I've only just started using it. So as you can see, I'm always first with the new things. Why is the camera so weird? Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. Just bear with me 2 minutes, guys. Hang on. Ah, there we are. Much better. Very strange. Right. Okie dokie. So, right. My order of flags is underway, and my base. Oh, that's good. So you've got the last part done first. That's good. So let's get some Vassar. As I say, I thought I had the. I thought I picked up the flesh, but it's actually Skeleton Horde I've picked up, which is a little annoying. But we can work with it. We can do some of the parts if necessary. How is everyone saying? The weather here is very hot. It's very humid as well. It's not as hot as Belgium, but it's far more unpleasant than Belgium. Belgium was a nice warm summer's heat, whereas this is very sticky. So we're doing the helmets. We've got none of these done so far, so we're going to have to really crack on with these. Now, the vast majority of these guys are going to have black hair. I'm just going to paint the hair as I do the helmet and the plume. Now, this bit here, that is going to be that's going to be white and red. It's red at the bottom, white at the top. So I'm going to paint those separately and then glue those on. What I'll probably end up doing is just spraying them white and then doing the red at the bottom, if I'm honest. Then we'll tuck under there. I'll do the brim. I have to say these Victrix cavalry are very nice, but I'm looking forward to having them done. That's for sure. As nice as they are, they've taken a long old time, and I thought I'd done a lot more on them than I actually have. So, want to know what units I've ordered flags for? Yeah, go on then. Because this is when you tell me that you've ordered them for like Russians or something, and I'm like, you might not be happy with your aid package then. Now I've just noticed by having the camera this way around, it's right, let me spin it around. Hang on, because my hand is in the way of the lens. There we are. I thought I'd try it a different way around, but it's not really worked out that way. So coming from above, this is looking crazy. This is like, I mean, Australia or something. Hoping on the last box set from Perry, having done the lot coming. Okie dokie. Lovely and cool here in Kent. Very good. Very good. Nice and breezy. Oh, that's good. All those little boats with the sails up. I'm joking. Of course, I don't have sails. Howdy, Tim. I was reading about some Soviet early Cold War heavy tank projects because I love Soviet heavy tanks, especially due to their pike nose armor design. Yeah, I got the Clash of Steel, is it? The starter set with the T-54s in, some IS-2s or IS-3s, and some Pershings. I got that at Adepticon as well. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff. But that's something else I need to crack on with. Actually, my Team Yankee armies. I was hoping to a lot of Team Yankee this year, but it just hasn't turned out that way. I will get the 2nd Battalion, the 5th of Foot. Good choice. 94th. Okay, 83rd. 2 guards. 1st and 3rd guards, 1st Battalion. Okie dokie. Well, no, that's a good spread. Slightly disappointed there's no 4th or 8th Regiment in there, my old unit, but can't have everything, can you, I suppose? Can't win them all. Now, the reason I bothered to get the black paint off the face there is because I would have had to have re-undercoated the paint for when I put the flesh on, and it was quicker just to quickly dab that off while the paint was still wet than it would be to repaint the face. So quickly grab that off there, over the back. You will hear from those of you who were here when I had to nip down to the painting room. You did not hear any printing going on. The printer's having a little bit of a rest at the moment. It's due a FEP sheet change, but that's just because the old FEP sheet has been bashed around a little bit. It's still printing successfully. I managed to get some 10mm orcs out of it recently. But yeah, I'm still having trouble with the adhesion to the print plate. Not that it's not adhesing, the exact opposite. Getting it off is an absolute nightmare. 3rd Division Salamanca. Okay, well, I'll let you off then. I'll let you off. You know, I'm only pulling your leg. Well, you've got to have the guards as well, haven't you? I think so. I used Victrix for my line, and I used Perry for my guard. But yeah, they are absolutely lovely models. The Perrys, they really are good. That was actually a so I wanted to do another video about Waterloo, because obviously I've been thinking about it, and I ended up doing what makes, a sort of a question video, really. So I wanted to get other people's thoughts on it as well. What makes the Battle of Waterloo so iconic? So we released that one at the weekend. But one of the other ones was, what makes a guard unit a guard unit? And I wanted to sort of do a little bit of not a deep dive, but a sort of a shallow dive into different nations' concept of having guard. Particularly, I put my Team Yankee into storage. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, no. Well, I mean, speaking of guards, certainly like post Second World War Soviet guard units were units with the best equipment. They weren't necessarily the best trained. Now, were the British foot guards better than the French Old Guard? I guess would be the end of that question. And I don't know. I thought it's probably a video that requires a bit more research, so that's why I didn't do that one in the end. Here we go. Another one here. Well, actually, show how many heads I've got here. I don't think I've got enough. I don't think I've got 12. Oh well. Soon find out, won't we? Zuko. Well, to be fair, mate, I was running late as well, so don't worry too much. You've done well. You've done well, sir. Where are we? Let me scroll down a little bit. Question about them, the pair boxes. How do they have the flank companies on them? Of course, that's superior. Everybody would. Yeah, absolutely. Although you'll have plenty of people telling you that it's because we had the Dutch-Belgian militia on our side, and they were the true turners of the tide. So yeah, no, the flank companies have. So the arms are all separate to the bodies, and you can either select, arms with the nests on, or arms without the nests on. There's enough. There's enough for you to have them if you want them, or not have them if you don't want them. So yeah, that's the way the Perry box works. Is you just select the arms that you need, because they're all there's no like mixture of poses. They're all loading and firing. It's not like, for example, half of them are marching, half of them are firing, or anything like that. So yeah, you just pick the arms that you want. Yeah, you can do. Yeah. I'm not sure if there's enough flank company arms for everyone, so you couldn't do like the Nottinghamshire light infantry or the Somerset light infantry or something like that. I don't think you could do that, but that's where the Perrys come in. That's why Victrix comes in. That's why you buy the box of flank companies from Victrix. Well, the Yorkshire light infantry, of course. How could I have forgotten them? The coilies. It looks like I've missed a little bit here. Get that dabbed. Rubik has a question. 7 units of line. I think you could. Yeah. Does His Majesty's Lifeguard Cuirassiers of the Russian Guard have any rules in black powder? They were part of the Guard in 1814. There's sort of a catch-all rule in Clash of Eagles that says just give 1+1 attack to all the Guard units. So you would just take regular Cuirassiers and give them an extra attack. which is a little bit lame, I think. But you can probably get away with it, I think. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just I think it's a bit lame, but yeah, just give regular Krasias an extra attack. You could probably also give them something like reliable or stubborn, something like that. Stubborn might be a bit much because I'm not sure. Does Russian cavalry get the extra stamina? I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it does. Good evening, Imhill. I still haven't painted up your namesake's model yet. In fact, I've not even opened the cellophane on him. Did anyone pick up the Cafe box set when that came out? Anyone excited about that? I looked at it and thought it was nice, but because it wasn't limited edition, I thought I'll pick one up at some point, I'm sure. But it wasn't a buy right this second. My friend really was into the dice. Now, I'm a big dice guy. I thought they were okay. I don't think they were anything special. So I ended up not getting anything. Ordered for a buddy at the same time, so I might trade his stuff for his Epic collection. Oh, that's cool. Especially if it's painted. Did anyone else get the Napoleonic Black Powder mystery box? No. Did you get one? I was curious. The to be honest, the sort of the Black Seas one kind of put me off. Not because I didn't like the Black Seas one. It was just such a weird thing. But no, if someone else got one, yeah, please let me know, because I'd be curious to see if if they've just bunged an army starter box in a bag. As soon as prices came out, interest waiting for me. Warmaster, however, is go. Yeah, mate, it absolutely is. Yes, I just there's nothing more for me to say, to be honest. I've just been printing a load. Oh, you've got me excited now, Luke. These are from. Oh, they're going to be upside down on this camera, aren't they? These are from Wake's Emporium. These are Lord of the Rings Orcses. So I'm pretty pleased with them. And then I also printed off the Trolls. This is my box of evil 10mm Lord of the Rings. These are absolutely awesome. I'm a huge fan of these. Yeah, no, I'm all over Warmaster at the moment. I played it at Adepticon a couple of years ago. I did pretty well, to be honest. But yeah, no, it's a great game. It really is just a fantastic game. Not fully painted, but you can't have everything, can you? I just glued a Prussian artillery set from Warlord. I feel like the quality of the metal is much lower than Perry's. Yeah, I agree. It feels like a pewter, as opposed to like a mix that I think the Berries use. But no, I found that as well. Yeah, I found that the metal doesn't feel as good, as silly as that sounds. And I'm aware it sounds silly. Don't worry. Right. So having glued all of the lifeguard to their nags, I have decided I'm now going to do the same. Am I going to do the same with the lifeguard? With the blues, sorry. Have I highlighted them? That is the question. No, it doesn't look like I have. Okay, so that puts the kibosh on that one. I can, however, do their sabers. So let's get on with that. French starter. Some painted as Nassau. Cool. Rest non-painted. So I will pay. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. You got to start with the Nassau there as well. Warren's Atlantic step. Yeah, the 10mm stuff. Do I need a 10mm samurai army? I mean, that's a silly question, isn't it? Of course I do. But the question is, how long am I going to put it off before buying one? I need to finish my 28mm samurai army. That would be that should be my priority, really. But I finally properly started doing a medieval army. Now, I've sort of toyed with some medieval armies in the past, but I've finally got reason to do one. So hopefully that's going to be finished by the end of next month. So right, so I'm just going to do the steel. This is going to be scabbards and sabers. You know what? I might as well do that carbine as well. Not that I'm going to use it, but you may end up on the hip of a silver bayonet figure or something like that. So may as well get it done. I'm sorry I made a phrase to get. It would be the guard. Yes, good. Well played, sir. Well, one of the things I like about Black Powder actually is, particularly in Clash of Eagles, the guard is almost a separate army list. So you can have the French army, and you can add some guard to it, or you can have the guard. And I really like that. I think that's a good idea. It's kind of like having an army of custodies, or like one of these elite armies for something else. I did tell you about the game you were going to have. It's got oh, fantastic! Yeah, it's a shame the models couldn't get to you in time, but that's good. How did it go out in the end? What went down? What's that? What were the highlights? Because there's got to be some crazy stuff that happened. Let's look. I don't know if everyone else feels this way, but I feel Victrix plastics are much more brittle than Waller and Perry's. I have to say, Blue Ram Tetra Asbora. Okay. Hello. I have to say, yes, I do agree with you, actually, to an extent. I found with the early Victrix, where it's kind of like a weird yellowy colour, the plastic, then yeah, I 1000% agree with you. It's very, very brittle. The bayonets snap off my Brits at the drop of a hat, and my guard for that matter. I do think they've got a lot better now. Certainly these ones feel a lot chunkier. And the I've just bought their Romans as well, and they feel a lot better as well. So yes, I agree. Certainly in their early stuff. I think their later stuff is a different plastic blend though, and I think it's a lot less brittle than it early was. The Russian don't have very good stats except for the Lithuanians in the finish. Infantry, yes. I think for the cavalry though, they don't have their own separate unit entries. Just about to start printing Nat Russians from Avanti miniatures first Kickstarter. I think I might have that one, you know. I think I do. I got so many, man. Right, what was I going to do? I was going to get the Skeleton Horde as I went down and got it by a mistake. Where the hell are the rest of the heads then? Ah, right in there. Concern. Right, well, we'll worry about that later. Leaving the brigade to last. Not sure I really want too much choice. Dragoons, Lancers, Mounted Jaegers, Hussars, etc. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. There's a lot of choice. I've already re-undercoated this with a it looks like Wraithbone, so I should probably just wash this brown, just like an Agrax shade wash. But it's all right. You can have a dibble dabble of Skeleton Horde. It's not going to hurt, is it? And these are just. I mean, I'm actually kind of glad that I picked up this one by mistake, because these are the kind of little jobs that are a real pain in the arse. So it's good to get them out of the way, nice and early, and then you can just not have to worry about them anymore. So there we go. So I was just noticing that's a bit light on there, so let's add a little bit more. These have obviously been sat in the damp for a little bit. Play British hunkered down on the road behind stone walls, and I have to say I had a stone wall. He fights sitting on his ass. We'll have to kick him off it. Well, you know, I mean, if you've got an army that is particularly good defensively, then why not, sir? You're not making the full use of your steady line rule, which lets you countercharge. But you know what? If you're behind a defended obstacle, who cares? Just take the +1 to hit from the closing fire. Is more than good. Do I have any Necron models? That's an interesting one. Have I told this story before? I went to a hotel in Oxford to a 30k event that was being put on by a club that I think met there. And they had like some huge boxes of stuff. And they were like, basically, it's all full of sprues. Like, we don't want them. Like, you can have them. So we were about to delve in. And some bloke went, if anyone finds any Necrons, give them to me because they're mine. So I was like, all right, okay. So I delved in. The first thing I found was like a Necron battle force and about 3 or 4 boxes worth of Immortals. Now, because that guy had gone, I want them, I obviously took them. So I did have a huge Necron army, and I swapped it for my friend's Lord of the Rings Uruk-hai army, which I thought was painted, but it turned out not to have been painted, so that was a bit of a fail. But yes, no, I don't have any Necron models currently. I am very tempted to buy an epic Necron army printed, though. I've seen one for £100, 3,000 points, 8 mil. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can't be arsed printing myself. But yeah, so that's my story about Necrons. Why do you ask, Rubric? My left, I was held by 1 battalion against 3, so I had to reinforce. Very good. This is what we like to hear. Some stories of daring do. 2 divisions came to reinforce me on the road. Well, that's pretty handy. Two whole divisions turned up. I'm having a friendly debate with my friend. I want to pose this question to the community: was Rommel just a less legendary nay? Ooh, that's a spicy one. So I'll see what people think before I give my opinion on that one. As the French charged my line, I used steady line, charged them out. Finally, the KGL got on the move and just ran straight through 3 battalions. Oh yeah, that'll do it. There. Yeah, the full scale Nightbringer or the epic Nightbringer? So I might have no, I haven't got the Nightbringer. I have the other one. I used to use him as a genie model in my Araby army. The 3rd Division went to pummel the French left on the hill and came to a close. Well, very good. That's what I would expect from the fighting 3rd. I would expect nothing less than whipping Johnny Frenchman. Although I'm not sure what they'd make of the king saying, I think, did he say it in French? I know he gave some of his speech in French. I don't have a problem with that. Our king spoke French for centuries. But him saying that he didn't want any borders, that was a little of an eyebrow raiser. A larger AAR is on the... Oh, cool. Fantastic. I shall dive in then. So got my original Metal Library. Yeah, he was a sweet model. I remember when he came out. He was like nothing I'd ever seen before. I have to say, I really like the Void Dragon as well. Not a huge fan of the direction they've taken with Necrons. But the Void Dragon is an absolutely sweet model. Yeah, he is really, really nice. So is Rommel a less legendary nay? I mean, now I would have considered Ney as a rearguard general, as a defensive general. That's not what I would have thought of Rommel. Now, obviously, Rommel he was in charge of the Atlantic Wall, so he was pretty defensive there. And Ney did obviously lead attacks, particularly at Austerlitz. So, you know, it wasn't like he just sat down his ass. He did actually do aggressive actions as well. I would say, for me, Rommel was more akin to Davo than Ney. But I can't really back that up in any scientific way. So yeah, I don't know who would be. I don't know who you could say a German Nay, he was. Yeah, I don't know, because old Mustache Man, wouldn't really turn to anyone when he was in trouble. He'd just let the trouble fester, wouldn't he? So, yeah, I don't know. Dragoon Guards rolled all ones on the charge and lost the camp. Oh dear. Well, that's what you got rerolls for, dude. The KGL Dragoons rolled on the charge all 5s and 6s. Yeah, well, I can, for once, I can say I feel you, because my Chasseur à Cheval de la Garde did the same thing. So I have experienced that joy. How many units of cavalry do you reckon is right for an army with 10 battalions of infantry? If you go for 10 battalions of infantry, I think it's only fair that you have 15 regiments of cavalry. So I'll go with that one. No. What army is it for? I would suggest. I know it's a bit of a boring answer. I'd probably go around about 2 to 4. But depending on what army it is, depends on whether I would go at the top end or the bottom end of that. If it's French, I'd probably go top end. Oh, Russians. Oh, well, of course. Sorry, yeah. With Russians, now they normally had brigades of 2 regiments when it came to cavalry. So you could probably go. See, it's difficult. I'd probably go with 4 regiments, and I'd have 2 light and 2 medium cavalry on that one. I probably wouldn't go Krasiers. I'd probably not go any heavier than Dragoons. Don't forget, of course, Russian light Hussars have Lancers, so they can punch above their weight anyway. So I'd probably go with two units of Hussars or mounted Jaegers or something like that. And then I'd go with 2 units of Dragoons, and don't forget you get your 3 Cossacks as well. So you'd probably want your Cossacks with the Hussars. But that would be my suggestion. 15 units of yeah. Only if they've all got man-packable mortars, as in the documentary. The fun thing on the rampage of the KGL Dragoons happens every time. Yeah, it's always about the KGL, man. I'm just doing all of the sabres here because I'm going to need to replace some of the ones for my lifeguard, which is why I'm just doing them all now. And let's be honest, it's not exactly the most arduous of tasks, is it? This is one of those things where it's actually turned out quite nicely. I was in a rush. I've had to rush home, so I've had to decide what I'm going to do with the hour of painting that I've got. And it ends up just being sort of like little bits here and there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it means that stuff just gets done, rather than right, today I'm going to do all of the weapons or whatever. It just chips away. It just adds a little bit more to the finished project, and it means that we're getting one step closer. Now, I've left this plume here because I wasn't sure how I was going to paint it. Now, I thought it might be for the musician, but it's not. So I can... I wasn't sure if I was going to do the red and then paint the black around the red. But I think what I'll do is I'll paint it black. I'll get a Mephiston red paint, and then I will... I'll go large from there. I can also do the sabretache while I'm here as well, can't I? Now, look at me, I'm even painting the inside. I'm going crazy. Who the hell is this guy? I mean, it's amazing. I'm even really painting them. I'm just going to thin the black down here a little bit and just bung that on there. Let me get on. 20 to 7, plenty of time. Plenty of time. Oh yeah, I missed all the outside of his leg there. I don't know what the hell I was doing there. Oh, never mind. Just stain that a little bit, and then he's probably good to go. Put that in there. Oh, someone's cutting their hedge. God, I'm glad I've not. I've got to do that after a day at work. Ugh. The Monday we came out from Waterloo, I took off work, So I cut the hedge then. That's it for the next 3 months. I'm not doing it again. Those charge rerolls came clutch to play. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah, they always do. And that's the thing that I really don't like about them, if I'm honest, is that it means that your opponent's got like, oh yeah, he's fluffed his rolls. Oh yeah, reroll. Oh yeah, that's 15 hits or however many it is. And it always feels a bit like you've been cheated. I always think. So that's why for Under Eagles to Glory, we do limit the rerolls to only on the initial charge per turn. So it's still pretty strong, but if you do a breakthrough move, you don't get the rerolls on that charge, which I think is fair enough. I think that's a good compromise. I'd almost suggest Rommel could be compared to Hood in the American Civil War. Hood's Texas Raiders. I have to say, Luke, you are way out of my my area of knowledge on that one. I would say area of expertise, but there's a the jury's still out on whether I have any. Certainly, I can inform you the American Civil War is not. I do know that the American Special Forces train at Fort Hood. That is basically all I know about him. But yes, the American Civil War it's a period I'd like to know more about. But I'm currently struggling to learn more about Wars of the Roses. And given that I am a Yorkshireman, I feel like I shouldn't. It should be in my bones that I know about Wars of the Roses. So that's my current area of study. That and the Bloody Brunswickers. I think Ney was better than he's given credit for. Okay, Michael. In what way? Because I mean, he's pretty highly regarded by pretty much everyone apart from Napoleon. But yeah, in what way do you think he was better? I agree. I've said before many times. I think he suffered something akin to PTSD from the Russian campaign. But no, I'd definitely be interested to hear your take on that. You can almost feel you can't. Well, that's true. However, I am lucky in so much as the amount I hate cutting the hedge. I mean, I just there is no shame enough that could shame me into cutting the hedge. I detest it more than I can say. Because we've got like a massive hedge. A couple of years ago, we had some birds nesting in the nesting in there. Some nerds nesting in there would have, or nerds bursting in there would have been something else entirely. But no, we had some birds nesting in there, so I managed to get out of it that year. But yeah, no, that was a good year. But no, it does get a bit out of control. Look, Draken, the York may have lost the Wars of Roses. Welcome to the channel, by the way. They may have not won. We don't like to say lost. They may have not won the Wars of the Roses, but and this can't be overstated. They were the coolest faction. So I mean, you look at something like Waterloo, and Napoleon didn't win Waterloo, but you look at all of the merchandising and the posters and the advertisements and everything, and it's all about Napoleon. So just saying that we may not have won the Wars of the Roses, but who cares about lame-o Henry VII? It's all about Richard. Hi, Grim. You've looked into the yeah, no, that would be a cool one, actually. Yeah, that would be a good campaign. The when they invaded Flushing, yeah. I can't remember what the Dutch name is, and nor would you want me to, so that's why I refer to it as Flushing. My Dutch is not great. Better than my Polish, which is why when I do a impression of my Polish friend Lucas, I put on my best Dutch voice because I can't do Polish. So that's those sprues. They're done. Here we go on this one. First pub quiz I ever went in Yorkshire when I was at uni there, had a "Who won the Wars of Roses" question, and they yes. See, there you go. You see, so it's does it count as a loss if you think you've won? I say no. I say it does not. I lived in Preston, so I had to support the Red Roses. But to be honest, yeah, no, it was pretty brutal. I just listened to a YouTube video. Actually, I shared it with the guys, and it made the claim, and I was like, oh, that's a bit clickbaity. So obviously, I was lured in. That 5% of England's population was killed at the Battle of Towton, and I was like, explain. So his argument was that there were 75,000 troops at the Battle of Towton, which seems like a lot. I must admit, I think that seems a little many, and half of them were killed, which again seems like a high proportion of people who were killed. But it is possible. There was they found a mass grave of people who were executed after the battle. It's pretty clear that they were executed. So it is possible. So he believed there were 75,000 people at the battle, and he reckoned the population of England was about 7.5 million, which again sounds plausible. And if half of the people who were there got killed, that means that 5% of the England's population were killed at the Battle of Towton. And I was like, oh, that's it's quite sobering when you think about it. But as I say, it's I'm not 100% certain about his maths. I did think he laid out the battle very succinctly, though, and very simply, particularly the background to the battle. So I could never really work out how Edward IV became king as the direct descendant, the next king from Henry VI. That was a bit of a one I couldn't work out. But this guy explained it, so that was good. Of course, I'm not anti-Yorkshire, but Yorkshire does not exist anymore. How very dare you, sir? How dare you? I mean, it exists as a county, so yeah. I mean, I'm in South Yorkshire. I'm not, to be honest. I'm very lucky that I get to call myself a northerner. I get to call myself a northerner by about 15 miles. He did miss out the Battle of the Ferry Bridge. He did, but it wasn't a video on the Battle of the Ferry Bridge, was it? It was a video on the Battle of Towton. But yeah, no, it certainly helped to explain the situation for me. He also didn't. Where was Richard killed? Was that Wakefield? I know he was killed on a bridge, wasn't he, or near a bridge? I didn't realise that they executed his youngest son either. That's a bit naughty. He just said he was near Sandal Castle. It was the same day. Okay, fair enough. Is that like the Linny to Quatre Bras, is it? Christ, don't tell don't tell Richie. Or maybe do tell Richie. He'll have more knights than Richard III did. Yeah, you know what, Luke? That is a question I posed myself today. Actually, why isn't it classed as a civil war? I would suggest it's not a civil war because it didn't include Parliament. So it was sort of too. It's almost like a gang war rather than being the state against someone else. It's sort of two non-state actors, although one of them happens to be the king. So yeah, I don't know really, to be honest. I don't know why it's not counted as a civil war. That's a good question. I shall ask General Dan. He may know. Well, Clive's he knows his knights. South Yorkshire, East Yorkshire, but no longer just Yorkshire. Yeah, well, yeah, it's true. I think that as a bit like the Space Marine legions, I think they realised that if Yorkshire were to remain unified, they wouldn't be able to like, you know, withstand our awesomeness. Well, I must say we do only have one Yorkshire cricket team, so I guess we're a single county when it comes to the cricket. But we are the very poor relations. Everything's Leeds or York or Harrogate, if you're feeling particularly posh. So down here in South Yorkshire, we don't get nothing. So we don't even get steel anymore. And one thing I do like about these swords is there is a definite like pointed tip and a curve. They're not just like flat bits of plastic. But as I also said before, they should really be hatchet tipped, and they don't have those on there. So that's a bit of a shame. The Perry's sword, I think, are much better. They they were very not civil, Draken. That is true. No, there was lots of murderings going on. I don't know, Clive. Are they? I mean, we have the English Civil War, obviously. But I don't know. Do people think of Wars of Roses as a civil war? I don't know. Maybe. They certainly had a failure to communicate between the Yorkists and the Lancastrians, didn't they? So if that's Guns N' Roses' definition for a civil war, then I think we probably had one. So that's cracking on with that one. Yeah, no, this has been good. We're just cracking on with little jobs that need doing. One fun thing I would like to get is rocket batteries. Yeah, you got to get some rocket batteries. I actually think I've seen a few rocket batteries. I really, really like the Warlord one. So yes, we will, David. Almost missed me, buddy. So unfortunately, you nearly managed it, but not quite. I handled a very disfigured head. Oh dear. That was recovered from Towton when I worked at the Wallace collection. Well, that's awesome that you worked at the Wallace collection. They've got some excellent armor and stuff. Yes, no, the heads were like looking at them. My ex-girlfriend was a osteologist, so her speciality was bones. And yeah, we'd often I'd come home and find like skulls like drying in the kitchen and things like that. So yeah, no, I did take a bit of an interest in them, and we never had any that were particularly Toutonified, shall we say. But having seen documentaries about them or photographs and stuff, they do look pretty grim. Yes, no, it was mostly Victorian skulls that we used to dry out in our kitchen. She did become the county archaeologist for Lincolnshire, and then she gave it up to become a self-help coach, which was that was yeah. I mean, that was something that someone did. Yeah. The Wars of Roses were England was a single nation. If we understand to say, well, England was a single nation. Britain wasn't, but England was. We were pretty well unified by then. Although I guess you could say things like the Marcher Barons or the dudes up in the Scottish borders were almost like little fiefdoms unto themselves. But I mean, legally and technically, the England was a single kingdom by that point. Dragon, these are from Victrix. They are. Let me get the old. I've got the bag topper here. And they are the British Household Cavalry 18. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Oh, what a crazy one! I've never had that before. Apparently, my camera is overheating. So to be fair, it is quite hot. So. Yes, thank you for sticking with me there. Oh, records put 2p on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We used to play squash at school, and we used to have to bring 20p. It was 50p. It was actually for the lights when we were playing, which I thought was a disgrace. But never mind. Remember, if we didn't spend it, then we got to have a can of Coke afterwards. So it wasn't. Oh, bad. We just said, oh yeah, no, we have to pay for the lights. I've just delved into my box of tricks while we were cooling down a little bit. It may disappear again, but I mean it's 5-2 now, so Oh, let me see. So I'm going to try and get these scabbards done. I think we're not going to. That's a shame because that was I was really enjoying that. It's too hot for absolutely, yeah. Check out the OnlyFans. Yeah, I don't think so. Although speaking of that den of debauchery and sin, I recently had a recommendation on Facebook, and I was like, why on earth would I be interested in that? In a page called Only Geese, and it's like, pictures of like geese doing funny things. So I was like, oh yeah, go on, I'll give it a go. Oh, it's great. It's like my favorite page on Facebook at the moment. It's just funny pictures of geese. Who knew that geese could be so hilarious? And yet here we are. They sell merch as well. One of which is he's in jail, and he says, "I got a bit too silly," which I quite like. I might, if I keep getting the adverts for it, I might actually cave and get that T-shirt. That's quite a good one. Maybe YouTube says to the child, "If the dirty red Lancashire." Yes. As soon as someone types Lancashire, and they like flip the computer, just like trash the room, everything. Yeah. It was the ghost of my ancestors over my shoulder. The thing as well, like in every TV show that's ever made in Tudor times, the Duke of Norfolk is always the bad guy. And I'm like, he's a York, he's Catholic, he can't be a bad guy. But yeah, he's always the bad guy. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. Old Howard, very very upsetting. Oh, this is what I was saying earlier on about. I wasn't sure if I was going to do the red and then paint the black either side. So I've had an experiment with it there. It's actually worked not too badly, but I think I might leave the white there and then try and use that as the trumpeter. But we'll see how that goes. It might need a bit of touching up anyway, but we'll see how that one goes. The second family of the kingdom, absolutely, yeah. Well, they finally provided the wife that finished off Henry VIII, so they've obviously done something right. All the geese fully naked. Well, they're fully feathered and spurred. So I was wondering, it was chasing a baby. It was, he wasn't a baby, like a toddler. So that was quite funny. And then when it finally got to the toddler, he just like rubbed his neck against the baby. So it was very cute in the end. There's a YouTube channel about haggis. That does sound good. There used to be a YouTube channel that did like the law on 40k stuff, and that was done by David Attenborough. I think they had to stop it because it was copyright or something. But yeah, that was hilarious. That was a really good page. I used to enjoy that one. So right, I'm going to get these two scabbards done, and then we're going to knock it on the head today. So thank you for everyone who's joined me on this very warm evening. I know there's been some tennis on, although that said, from what I saw, the number 10 seed was getting absolutely thrashed. So I assume he's like back home by now. I can't remember the other guy's name. He's Italian, I think, isn't he? Sinner. Is it Sinner? Yeah, I think it's Sinner. He was absolutely creaming his opponent. Pygmy Goats Play is also great. I've had to check that one out then. There's a channel. See, there you go. You see, so there's another a channel of YouTube Shorts that got recommended to me. He's a Maine lobster fisherman, and he's like, he'll pull like a lobster, and there's like a maximum size that they can like farm, so they have to throw them back, but they're all covered in like barnacles and things like this. So he like snaps all the barnacles off them with some pliers and things like that. I mean, he kills the barnacles. He doesn't damage the lobster. And he throws the lobsters back in. Honestly, man, I've got no interest in lobsters whatsoever, but I know more about them than I ever wanted to from watching this guy's shorts. Yeah, he's great. I do like only fins though. That's a particularly good one. Lots of pubs around me are called the Earl of Warwick or the Bear and Raggy Stuff. Well, it's weird. I mean, like the Duke of Devonshire is the Duke in Chatsworth, which is obviously nowhere near Devonshire, and he owns a load of Eastbourne. Weirdly, so yeah, it's very strange where all this, where these ancestral lands are and all that kind of stuff. But that's it for today, chaps. I want to say thank you very much. Well, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. We've not done anything particularly exciting, I don't think, but it's been cool to hang out, especially after last week. I was a bit disappointed about that, and I've just got lots of little bits done, and that's a success in itself. So hopefully by the time we have the August break, we'll have had the Blues and Royals and Lifeguards both finished. I might concentrate on the Blues and Royals this I might try and get them done sooner rather than later. I've just seen some First World War French Lancers I've got over there as well. What on earth have I got those out for? Oh, well, I don't know. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I'm just confusing myself now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. There will be a video this Sunday. As I mentioned last week, I will be taking August off. Hopefully there'll be a video this Sunday. I can't see why there wouldn't be. Next week's going to be a bit hectic because it's our new computer system at work. So we'll have to play it by ear if there's one. Excellent. Oh, Joy 6 is this Sunday. Oh, yes. Yes, you will do. I will come to that. Absolutely. Completed 10 Kraziers ready for a wash. 70 more to go. Fantastic. That is good. I wish I knew less about the roses. Well, thank you very much, guys. And yes, I will be there on Sunday. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys later.